Hi, this is DJ Dave. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is a 2-week recap on what should be done and what to do from here. The first thing that should be done by now is that your order of service and order of events should be completely reviewed and should be in the hands of all of the people that are helping to execute on the day, including your suppliers. The easiest way to catch this up is to email your completed manifest to every single key person and supplier for the day and ask them to respond back that they've received the complete manifest within 48 hours. The second thing that should be done by now is that your go-to person who's going to manage for you on the day should be completely empowered to take charge at the rehearsal dinner. The easiest way to catch this up is to make a time to sit down with them, have a meal, and run through them very clearly the entire running sheet and the manifest to make sure that any questions that they have about it are answered before the rehearsal dinner. The final thing that should be done by now is that you should have all your music clearly laid out for your DJ. If this isn't done by now, the quickest way to catch it up is to drop me a quick email and say, "Hey Dave, can you send me a music running sheet that I can use to help me clarify this very quickly?" And I'll send it back to you straight away. So with that all done, what should we talk about now? Well, I'd like to talk to you about how to get into your rockstar bubble, and the key to this is getting your rehearsal dinner really super right. So I wanted to share with you the best rehearsal dinner I've ever been to. It was at the church where the ceremony was being held. There was a little bit of food cruising around so that we could all have a snack, and we went out and had a big meal afterwards. But I still remember the bride standing up on the dais in front of everyone and saying, "This is my vision." Everyone's attention was drawn to her. And she also then said, "This is organising me on the day." And she brought her manager for the day up with her and introduced her to everyone. And she asked everyone a question, which is, "Who wants to argue with me on my wedding day? Anyone? Anyone?" And obviously no one put their hand up. But she said, "This is me on my wedding day. This person is me." And she said, if you argue with her on the day, you're arguing with me. And if she asks you to do something on the day, she's being me. She is me asking you to do something. So then she said to us all, "Do you understand?" And we all said, "Yes, we do," because wow, I certainly did. And this is really, really important. Make your rehearsal dinner count. If you make it super clear to every single person there that your manager is going to be managing on the day, you've set a really clear precedent for you to step back and be super present in your rockstar bubble and just enjoy the day with all of your guests. No one move at this stage will make a bigger difference than being like this bride and making a really strong showing of her vision and then delegating very powerfully to someone else to manage it on the day. Now, a few quick tips. Here are some pitfalls. First of all, if your manifest is not well prepared, it's going to be very difficult for your go-to person to step up. So make sure your manifest is clear and correct. The second pitfall is not correctly preparing your go-to person before the rehearsal dinner. If they don't understand the manifest intimately, they're not going to be confident with it and they're not going to be able to step up on the rehearsal and really make people understand that they've got this and they've got it under control. The third thing, and this is the thing that I personally found very difficult at my own rehearsal, was not interfering with the go-to person at the rehearsal. You know, my wife put my hand on my shoulder a couple of times and I knew that I just had to shut my mouth, because if I don't let that person step up and run the rehearsal dinner, then on the night, everyone's going to be, looking at me, looking at them and wondering who's in charge. If you can just step back and make it clear at the rehearsal that your go-to person's in charge, that's going to work really well for you. And the final thing is really be confident and remember that everyone is at your rehearsal dinner to learn and understand your vision for the day. That's why they're there. So be confident, share your vision with passion and vigor, and you'll inspire everyone to do a really great job. Now, what are some winning moves? At some rehearsal dinners, I see brides just step back when something comes up and let other people step in and solve the problems. This is a really good way to let the people that love you know that you're going to let them love you on the day. The second thing that I see done really well at some rehearsals is when someone's asking for a clarification about what's going on, I see the bride share generally her vision for the day. So to say, well, this is what I want to happen, and then stop and let the go-to person step in and say, oh, well, that means that you need to stand over here and then you will need to go and move over to here, or something like that. When you just share only your vision and then let the go-to person step forward and take over the execution, you're setting a really strong example for people of, this is my vision and this is the person executing it. And the third thing, which I find has really inspired people, is when the bride at the end of the rehearsal session thanks people in advance for their wedding being the best day of their life. When you show this confidence in people, you inspire them to do the right thing on the day and provide them with energy that carries them through right from start to finish so that the wedding day is absolutely perfect. I know I've talked a lot about the rehearsal dinner. It's such a fundamental time, and it's a time that so many brides miss this opportunity to delegate powerfully and therefore have a wedding day that exceeds their expectations. So if you've got any questions about rehearsals, drop me an email anytime you like and I'll answer your questions. This is such an important time, so make the most of it. Once again, David Bartholomew, thanks for making the time to listen in.